Hello, everybody. It's the Space King 12 here. Today, I'm joined by
That flame assassin guy.
and we're back for the third part of Game Chat. Now, today we're gonna shift things up a little bit because we are in E3 season, and as of this recording, E3 is just 9 days away. So, in addition to just our general Smash speculation, we're gonna be adding some of the more Nintendo-themed stuff into our discussion, stuff we would like to see and predictions and stuff like that. And, yeah, so I think we should just go ahead and start off with Smash. I'll let you start off.
Oh wow, is E3 like 9 days away?
Yeah, E3 is 9 days away, and that shocks me, because I feel like it was just a year ago that I was sitting in this very same seat, shitting myself as Metroid Prime 4 was announced.
I don't even know what day E3 even is this year. I've never actually checked for some reason.
Really? It's like a gamer's Christmas. You'd imagine. When they announced the date, I was excited then, and that was like a month and a half ago.
Yeah, I haven't actually looked at the date yet. I don't know why. I've just been preoccupied, I guess.
Okay.
But... Anyways, with, Smash... I would imagine that Nintendo's E3 is gonna start and end with it.
Start and ends with Smash.
Like,
so that would be like the 2014 direct that they had?
Yeah, the one with, like, the Mii's and Palutena.
Ah, yeah, that would make sense. And it would sort of be history repeating itself.
It just starts with, like, this big Smash reveal that we've all been waiting for, because we know it's real. Might as well just start up guns blazing.
Exactly. Do you have any ideas where they would announce for a date?
Release date, you mean?
Yeah.
I'm thinking September to coincide with the launch of the Smash Online. No, not Smash Online, Switch Online.
September. Yeah, that's one that I hear a lot.
Because I'm not sure. Because I'm not sure what they would actually launch alongside the Switch Online other than Smash.
They could do Pokemon.
Yeah, but like Pokemon isn't. But like the online isn't really a big selling point for it.
They could make it a big selling point this time around.
Well, for Smash, it's not. For Smash, it's not really a big selling point either.
Yeah, like for Smash, it's not a humongous selling point unless they make it a big emphasis, like they did in Splatoon. Like, everything's structured around online. But I don't think a lot of Smash fans would gel with that.
No, probably not, but, like, if it had an amazing online, it would just be wonderful. Like...
I think we need a huge online this time around, because...
Yeah, Smash has always had...
shitty online, let's not sugarcoat it, it sucked.
Yeah. Smash 4's online was better than Brawl's, but it was still pretty bad.
Yeah. Do you have any specific characters that you think would get announced?
Well, there would be the reveal of the Inklings, obviously.
Yeah.
And I feel like they would announce the Ice Climbers, just because, hey guys, we don't have the system limitation anymore, here's the Ice Climbers.
Yeah, that's a fair one, I guess I can get into some of my characters that I thought would be announced for E3. Now, for my first character that I suggested, like I wrote down here, it's someone that I feel is a really safe prediction, and it's someone that probably should have been in Smash by now. I was thinking that for their first character that they announced that's brand new, Paper Mario.
Yeah, that'd be good, but... I don't know, maybe they won't do Paper Mario and just make Mario, like, a completely new character at this point, because of, like, Odyssey.
Yeah. Well, the reason I just thought about Paper Mario is because Villager was also a really safe character. It was a character a lot of people thought should have probably just been in Smash, right? And I think I can see this E3 sort of mirroring the one with Smash in 2013. So that's actually why I pegged down 3 characters. Like a super safe one in the form of Paper Mario. Then I pegged down a exciting but relatively safe third party. I pegged down Rayman.
Okay, that Rayman would be really cool, but I don't know, their like relationship with Ubisoft is getting a little iffy.
Really?
Well, kind of, like, I don't know, not so much iffy, but like not quite as strong as it was before. Although there was the Mario plus Rabbids thing, so what am I talking about?
I thought we were in the Wii U era for a few seconds there when you're talking about Ubisoft, because after Mario plus Rabbids, I'm just starting to think, wait, what? But, yeah, I just thought it would be Rayman, just because, even though Rabbids sell more, Rayman's still the face of that series. I still can't believe the damn Rabbids are set in universe with Rayman. Kill me.
Although I've never actually played any of the Rabbids games, but I don't really plan on it.
Horrible.
Maybe Rabbids Go Home,
Go
but
Home's
that's like the only
designed
thing
like
I would
a
ever
game.
consider.
None of the others are. Anyways, for my last character pick, though, it was a character that's basically this game's what the fuck character. And that would be the robot from Nintendo Labo.
It would be brilliant, let's be honest here.
It would be brilliant, but it would just still be ridiculous. And have a lot of people turn their heads like, huh? Because I remember with the Wii Fit trainer reveal, like, I saw a lot of people was just like, is this a troll? Is this a troll video? Does this actually happen? Oh my god, it's actually happening.
I'm still amazed that they actually put in Wii Fit trainer.
I mean, it makes sense, because, like, Wii Fits was a ridiculously big game.
Yeah, it makes sense, but just why?
Yeah. And then I put down one final prediction for Smash, which was, I feel like they're gonna have like their trailer for the game will actually be a cinematic of some sort from the new story mode that I think they'll incorporate. As for what, they could do something like they could do really anything they wanted to, but what comes to mind was that Brawl trailer, which just dumped a ton of characters at random, like, oh, here's Wario, here's Zero Suit Samus, here's, the Pokemon trainer. It was just non-stop, like, random, here's new characters. And I was thinking something like that. But that would call into question how many new characters do they have planned for this new Smash game.
Honestly, I'm not sure if they would do that. Because, like, with these Smash 4 trailers, they know how to hype up a character. Like, if they just throw in too many at once, people are just gonna lose interest.
True, but, the only reveal I can think of, the reveals, I should say, that I can think of like that, where it generated shitloads of buzz online was like Snake, because he was a standalone trailer, and Sonic, because he was also a standalone trailer.
Although I didn't really follow the hype during the Brawl days, because I didn't even know the game existed until like a month or two before it came out.
Oh, glorious. Also, excuse me. I do think that Smash will be the game of the show, though, for most people. Like how,
oh yeah, definitely.
2016, Breath of the Wild was the game of the show, and then 2017, Mario Odyssey is the game of the show. I don't know, seeing as, like, they're gonna have a humongous tournament, like, centered around this game, like, with professional Smash players and all, I do have to wonder, though, are we looking at a Splatoon 2 scenario here, where the game is most of its DNA is found in Smash 4, and maybe some people would be disappointed in that?
Well, like, if they were gonna make it, like, this quickly, then, like, they probably reused a lot of stuff from Smash 4, which is fine, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not saying stuff
like,
from Smash 4 is bad or anything.
Like, Smash 4 at its core was, like, basically perfect.
Yeah. It was just the surrounding stuff that wasn't so hot. Like,
Like the
it
single
almost
player
co-
was kind of
yeah.
lacking.
Yeah, it sort of, to an outsider, that would sort of come across as like almost a borderline minigame collection. And that's coming from a guy who 100%ed Smash 4 on the 3DS. I still can't believe to this day I did that. I just spent a whole month of my life in Smash.
Yeah, I don't think I even hit 1,000 hours on both versions combined.
Oh boy.
I want to say it was around like 300 hours or so.
I don't mean to dive into super big rumors and stuff like that, but I do know that Emily Rogers made a post in her Discord. Emily Rogers being a prominent Nintendo leaker, and she made the claim that like this will be Smash Bros. Ultimate, like not titled that, but it'll be like the definitive Smash experience. And when people asked her about it, she said, "Oh, expect like next to no cuts and wildly outlandish characters that prove to be awesome." And I'm just like, you know, you are staking your credibility on the line here, but I can't help be hyped with how good your track record has been in the past. Because a lot of the Switch leak shit did come from her and Laura Kate Dale. Although Laura Kate Dale got out of the leak business after the Switch shitstorm. Because when the Switch reveal event happened and Mother 3 wasn't revealed, she got a lot of hate.
Rest in spaghetti, never forgetty.
Yeah. Even though she was basically completely right on everything else. Like, she was the only person calling for a new Monolith Soft game before the event. Like, the only one I saw. And Xenoblade 2 was revealed. And, like, she was the only person calling for a exclusive Konami game. And then there was Bomberman R, so... Any stuff that comes from Nintendo leakers, generally speaking, it's probably founded in truth. That's just my thoughts. So when Emily Rogers says, "Oh, this is going to be the best Smash game ever," I kind of want to believe it.
I don't know, when it comes to the leaks, I usually just think, okay, this is totally false. Let's just pretend this doesn't exist.
And then, more often than not, sometimes shit comes true.
Yeah.
Like, the Mario Rabbids stuff, we all thought, no way in hell, that is actually true. And then...
Yeah. And then there was the leak that was very clearly real.
Yeah, wow.
Like that kind of leak I'll reveal, but like a bunch of like text stuff, nah. I just don't want to get my hopes up.
Right. I do think that going in with low time expectations is probably the best. But at the end of the day, this is Super Smash Bros. We're talking about.
Yeah. So basically, at the end of the day, I'll probably love it either way.
Right. Okay, so we've been talking about Smash for about 15 minutes now, so... Well, seeing as it's the E3 season, why don't we talk about some other stuff? You got anything you want to see in particular?
Okay, look. Can they just please reveal Pikmin 4 already?
Yeah.
They said years ago that it was almost done, and we've still seen nothing of it.
My personal theory with that is that that game was like maybe 75% done when Miyamoto said that. He said that in 2015, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm thinking that game's probably probably 75-80% done, and then what happens is Star Fox Zero comes out. It fails spectacularly. Nintendo makes a gag order, says if your game's not basically 95% done, put it on the Switch. So they had to quickly cancel the Wii U version and then port everything they did have to the Switch as soon as possible, and then it got put on the back burner because the Switch starts selling really well, and then they have to start focusing on everything else. So development hell ensues.
Yeah, wouldn't be Pikmin if it didn't get delayed.
Wouldn't be Pikmin if it wasn't development hell. Pikmin 3 had a development hell of 9 years.
Although, that does seem pretty likely, especially considering this is Pikmin.
Yeah, very low priority series, sadly. Even though I love Pikmin, I adore Pikmin as a franchise. It was as a small child, like, that was one of my all-time favorite franchises. And I have moved past Pikmin. Like, after Pikmin 3 came out, I sort of just completely fell off the Pikmin series bandwagon. But I would love it if 4 could drag me back in.
Yeah, like, the only Pikmin game I've actually played is 3, but I have been meaning to play 1 and 2.
2's probably the best one in terms of content.
But, like, I do want to see Pikmin 4 come out finally. Because, like, it's just... what's been taking so long?
Miyamoto's got to figure out how to force motion controls into Star Fox first. And now, I guess I'll get into one of my predictions, and this one's a bit of a doozy, but, I've been looking at information regarding I can't pronounce it right.
Shin Megami Tensei?
Shin-En Multimedia. There it is. They're the guys who did the Fast Racing series.
Oh, those guys?
Yeah. I've been looking into them, and I've seen that they typically try to have a release schedule of one title a year, and we're halfway through 2018 and nothing has come out. So what I was thinking is, like, they had a project that they announced that they were working on around the time that the Switch was revealed, and then when they were asked about it, they said, no, that wasn't, Fast RMX was just a port that we put new content in. That wasn't our new project. So what I had began to think was, are they perhaps actually doing what I want them to do? Are they making a new F-Zero game?
I wouldn't hold my breath about that. Like, that'd be a really cool thing, but I don't know, at the same time, I could see Nintendo not doing it, too.
Yeah, I could. I feel like it could go either way, just because Shin-En Multimedia, like, at the end of the day, they are an independent developer. Like, say Nintendo has no faith in the product at all. Just stuff it in the Treehouse stream, and here's like 20 minutes in the Treehouse stream, and the internet goes ballistic. Samus Returns beckons, and I don't even think it would be a physical release. I think it would just be download only, $30 max, and it's basically just Fast RMX, the Fast Racing series engine, just with F-Zero racers and characters and stages. That's the extent of it. That's just what I was thinking. And I know I'm probably reading way into two things, and that's why it was my outlandish prediction. But it's something I personally really want to see. Because I just feel like it's been way too long since the last F-Zero game.
I've never actually played an F-Zero game, so...
My favorite one was probably F-Zero GX on the GameCube. It felt very arcadey, which is fitting because it had an arcade counterpart. It was tough as fucking nails and was really fun as hell.
But if GX does come to Switch via, like, Virtual Console or something, I'd probably play it.
Yeah, it's very similar to Fast Racing Neo, because Fast Racing Neo/RMX is based on F-Zero. Funny how the dice rolls with that. Do you got a prediction of your own for something new you'd like to see?
Okay, this I don't necessarily want to see, but remember that Star Fox Racing rumor?
Star Fox Grand Prix.
Honestly, like, that seems dumb enough to be real. Like, I wouldn't exactly want it, but, like, it just sounds dumb enough to be real.
Yeah, it's sort of like the Mario and Rabbids thing, where, it sounds too outlandish to have come from absolutely nowhere. Just someone threw shit against the wall to see what would stick. I feel like that has to be something. If not an actual game, then maybe at least an internal prototype or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Like-
the Pokemon Stars rumor, you remember that? That didn't come from nowhere. Like, a lot of people online say, no, Stars wasn't an actual game, it was just Game Freak's attempt at getting the Sun and Moon engine working on the Switch, which makes sense.
Yeah.
So, if nothing else, it has to exist in some capacity. As for my personal opinions on that, I'm not sure. I have to see the game before I give a judgment call. I will say this, though, it might just be exactly what the Star Fox franchise needs. I know that's a controversial statement. That is I know that's controversial as hell to say right now, in this heated atmosphere around that. But after Star Fox Zero, it kind of just proved that Nintendo kind of doesn't know what to do with the series. And doing a spin-off with a completely different style of gameplay might just be enough to get people interested again, because Star Fox Zero and me, we have a dark history. I got that game home, I played it, I beat the whole game in one night, and I loved it. Even though I had to force myself to learn the controls. And then, a few weeks later, I pick it up again, I play through the whole story again. I hate it. Like, I shouldn't say I hate it. I shouldn't say I hate it, but I got so irritated with the controls that I rage quit a couple times, which doesn't happen with me. When I play a Star Fox game, those games are short, I sit down, I spend the whole day, I beat the game. That didn't happen with that one. And then I get to the third playthrough. And I declare it my least favorite game on Wii U.
I didn't play Star Fox Zero, so
Yeah.
I have no opinion.
Yeah, so...
Although I
after
did play
that-
for a little bit of your house, but like I wasn't really that into it.
Yeah, I
but-
remember that. You looked dead inside when you were playing it.
Well, to be honest, I'm not really that into the genre of like on-rail shooters.
Did you at least enjoy Kid Icarus Uprising?
These sky sections were my least favorite part of the game.
Really?
Yeah,
It's the exact opposite for me. I hated the on-ground combat, and I thought the on-rail sections were absolutely phenomenal.
yeah, I think the opposite.
Oh, that should tie into something else, though. I'll close on this when it comes to Star Fox, though. I do think, though, with Retro Studios as the developer behind it, regardless of how stupid it turns out, it'll be a good game. We're talking about bloody Retro Studios, saviors of Metroid, saviors of Donkey Kong, and they have racing experience with Mario Kart 7, so it's not like it's a genre they have no experience in.
Wait, is that who? Wait, it's rumored to be developed by Retro?
Yes, by Retro Studios, that's the developer.
That would be really anticlimactic. Like
Maybe
everyone
for
just
you.
just like, oh my god, what is Retro working on? And then they reveal Star Fox Racing. This is what we've been working on for like the past 4 years.
The rumor that accompanies the Star Fox Racing rumor is that, what they did have, like that, they were working on a Wii U game, it was a shitty game, and so they canceled it. And they started again on the Switch sometime in 2016, and here's what we end up with. And that actually lines up with some firings and hirings we've seen from Retro Studios, because like they had this guy they hired for the express purpose after Tropical Freeze of writing a huge complicated story. And then he just like up and left like 3 months ago. So what I'm thinking something
Nope, I'm out. I ain't writing a story for a racing game.
Yeah. Yeah. That could very well be what have happened. So, yeah. In general, though, like, I just want something new as a Star Fox fan. I've played the fucking Lilat Wars too many times. Too many times! Star Fox SNES, I beat it like 5 times. Star Fox 64 on the 64, beat it like 7 times. Star Fox 64 on the 3DS, I beat it like 10 times. And then Star Fox Zero, I beat it 3 times and hated it the 2 of those 3 times. So I've played through this structure so many times that I want to barf at the sight of it. Give me something new. Even if it's something stupid like a racing game. Because I do love the Star Fox cast and characters. But I'm getting tired of the same old same.
I played Star Fox 64 3D once.
I played it too many times.
And that's my extent of Star Fox experience.
I played it too many times because I was portable. Yeah. Anyways, we've been talking about Star Fox for a while, so you actually brought up something earlier in reference to Kid Icarus. Every year at E3, it feels like there's something that's set to return. And it doesn't really... I'm not necessarily sure what it would be this time, but I feel like it's been a decent amount of time since Kid Icarus Uprising. It might be time for a new title in that series.
Oh my god, please.
As for the developer, I've been saying this on social media for probably a year at this point. The perfect developer that is not Sakurai himself for a Kid Icarus game would be Platinum Games.
Take my money. Just here it is. It's right here. Just take it.
The developers of Bayonetta basically make Kid Icarus combat on ground good for me. I don't even care if that comes at the expense of the in-air combat. Just give me something that sounds... There's so much potential in that idea. Yes, please.
Although they are working on Bayonetta 3, so...
Although Platinum has multiple teams.
Them making it seems a little unlikely.
Platinum has like 3 development teams.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. I think they have... Yeah, 3 development teams. One of them used to just make shovelware games for Activision. Although they did make one good game, which was Transformers Devastation. I liked that a lot. But the other 2 games they made, which was Legend of Korra and TMNT, those were both straight-up dumpster fires. They have one team with Kamiya, who did Wonderful 101 in the first Bayonetta game, and I'm not sure what else. I think they're the guys that came from Clover Studios. And then they have the team that did Bayonetta 2 and Nier Automata. And to my understanding, I'm pretty sure Bayonetta 3 is by Kamiya. So that leaves the other 2 teams to be working on whatever the hell they please. Platinum themselves have actually said they're working on a super secret action game that will quote-unquote turn the face of action games on its head, right? So what if we're doing the Kid Icarus game? Please? Give me it. So
okay, I don't see that game specifically being...
Go ahead.
Okay, I don't see that game specifically being Kid Icarus, but hey, if we get a new Kid Icarus Uprising, just take my money. Here we go.
Yeah. Although, what would they call it? It wouldn't be Kid Icarus Uprising 2. I think we're too far removed from that.
I don't know. It would probably depend on the plot of the game.
Kid Icarus Hades Vengeance? Sounds
I don't
stupid.
know, maybe Vengeance. Kid Icarus Rising with Vengeance.
God damn it. Okay, so... I went over Kid Icarus, you went over Star Fox. You got something else? I've got a prediction from Dive. He is physically here, but he doesn't really have much to say beyond this, so he decided to stay out of the conversation. He
just
wants a new
creepily listening into a conversation.
He's personally clamoring for a new Animal Crossing game, which I actually see a lot of people online clamoring for one. It does feel like the time is right. We've been waiting a very long time for a new mainline Animal Crossing game. The last one was New Leaf, which was released, 2013? So, 5 years.
Yeah, I think that's when it was.
5 years. We are way past due for a new one.
Yeah, it's been a long
And-
time since New Leaf.
Yeah. As for any specific new stuff that he wanted, he just seemed like I personally put something down, a huge use that game as a huge push for online. As for something he wants, more balanced spawn rate for items, because the biggest pain in the ass in Animal Crossing is, trying to get an item that you're looking for and then having to wait an entire year for it to spawn for 5 minutes and then missing it. So, yeah, that's something he wants to see fixed. An idea we actually discussed before getting on the stream was, not on the stream, the recording, was like, amiibo integration. For example, if you scan a Mario amiibo, you would get a Mario hat for your villager without having to go through all the fortune cookie bullshit.
If they did do, like, amiibo, I feel like they just do what they did with, like, with the New Leaf update, where, like, if you put in certain amiibo, it'll cause, like, certain villagers to come to your town.
Yeah, that could work too.
Like, you could even run into, like, Epona and, like, Pig Ganon, and it was pretty great.
Oh, I didn't know that. I never touched Welcome Amiibo, even though I probably should have. I heard it was a really good update. Especially for Amiibo owners, but I just never touched it again.
I haven't even played New Leaf since God knows how long, and I don't even have it anymore.
Oh, really? You don't even have the game anymore?
No, like, I don't know, I'm not really that into Animal Crossing. I don't know, it's just kind of boring to me. Like, you just can't do the same stuff over and over again, and like...
Yeah, I know several people who play it religiously.
Yeah, like, I'm not faulting anyone for liking it, just, I'm not really that into it.
Right. Okay, so, I guess I'll go on to something else. Let's see here. Okay, so I think one of the big stingers of this year, like, something that they're gonna show us, it's gonna be like, the very first E3 trailer for the Zelda Wii U, which eventually became Breath of the Wild. I think we're gonna see, like, T-minus a minute of Metroid Prime 4, and the internet will still lose its collective minds.
Oh, please.
Maybe they'll show us the new planet you're gonna be on, or maybe it'll be a cinematic trailer where you see Samus and presumably the villain will be Sylex this time around, so Samus and Sylex in an encounter, or something akin to that, and the internet will still lose its goddamn mind, and then the trailer will end with 2019, and then 2019 will come, and it'll be 2020. Nope, they're just kidding, the game's coming out in 2021. Are you kidding me? 2022. Fuck you.
Oh god, is this gonna be the Half-Life 3 of Nintendo games?
No, it's gonna be Breath of the Wild Part 2. I actually can say with pretty fair confidence that if this game is gonna meet the people's expectations, which are astronomical, this will be the Breath of the Wild of this generation. That is to say, it's not coming out this generation.
Honestly, just give me Metroid Prime, that's all I want. Like, there hasn't been a new game in the series since I actually got into it. Like, there has been Samus Returns, but like,
that was
it was a remake. Like, I'm talking like new game, like
Yeah.
Prime 4.
Yeah. Metroid Prime, Prime 4 is, I do think it'll be the only Prime game on the Switch. It pains me to say that. I don't think the Prime trilogy will get remade anytime soon. If they do get put on Switch, it'll be a remaster. They'll just replace some of the textures with HD-looking assets, and maybe make the game run in 1080p. Just something like Twilight Princess HD, which was nowhere near the overhaul that Wind Waker HD got. But it was still a fairly good remaster. But
Honestly,
I
if
would
they did that, I'd be fine with it.
A Prime Trilogy remaster is something that's very possible. But I don't know when they would do it.
Oh, this is a bad time to be sneezing.
Excuse you. Okay. Well, you got anything else you'd specifically want to see out of Metroid Prime 4?
Not particularly. Maybe, like, make it more of, like, a successor to the first game. And, like, how that game was structured.
I didn't really... Okay, I know this is kind of controversial to say, but I didn't really like the structure of Metroid Prime 1. I understand the feelings that it gave the player, like the feeling of, like, isolation, right? Like,
yeah.
you felt very alone in that game, and I loved that feeling, but I feel like, in terms of backtracking, in terms of the amount of time wasted in that game, that is by far the worst of the Prime trilogy.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree with that. Although, they could make you feel isolated while still giving you a decent fast travel system.
Yes, fast travel system, please.
Oh god, please.
Yes, I totally want that isolation feel. I feel like out of the 3 games, that one did that one the best. But just give me, fast travel system. Yeah, maybe not as extensive as Samus Returns, but at least maybe 1 fast travel point per major location.
Yeah.
Sort of like Prime Echoes. Actually, most people don't even know that Prime Echoes had a fast travel system.
Oh yeah, you got it like right at the end of the game, didn't you?
Yeah, you did.
That's like the only main series game I haven't actually finished other than Other M.
It's fairly linear, but I would say it's still a very enjoyable game out of the trilogy. A lot of people like overlook it and they say, "Oh, that game's trash." And every time I press someone about that, they'll usually say, "Oh, I haven't even played it. I just heard someone else online say it's just trash." But it's really good.
Yeah, I do like Echoes, but it's honestly my least favorite out of the Prime games.
So I think Prime 4 needs to be, in order to meet the fans' expectations, it'll have to be the best Metroid Prime. And I don't know if that's possible, but I would like for it to be. I think it would be awesome. I think the market's healthy for it, too. I was talking to Dive Blood the other day, how I feel like with our current gaming, like, shooter game market, like, Overwatch doesn't have a campaign, the next Call of Duty doesn't have a campaign,
Well, to be fair with Overwatch,
Battlefield's campaign ain't worth piss.
To be fair with Overwatch, the focus was on the multiplayer.
Still, the only other first-person shooters that focus solely on the core single-player experience anymore are games from id, Doom, Wolfenstein. So, and those games, while really, really good, they never came across as having the impact on the industry, aside from the first Doom, that, the Metroid Prime game, the first one did. So I feel like, a Prime 4 could be that game that makes developers take single-player seriously again, you know? In shooters, at least.
Did the Wolfenstein games even have multiplayer?
No, they don't. That's how devoted id is to, single-player content in their games. Like, they only put Doom's multiplayer in because of requests from ZeniMax.
Because I didn't think they had multiplayer, but I haven't played them, so...
Yeah. Yeah, so... I think the market is ripe for a first-person shooter like Metroid Prime 4. I think we need a game like that, and it needs to be really, really damn good.
Yeah.
Like, back in the day, Metroid was sort of Nintendo's answer to Halo, and now Halo's just kind of tapering off. Halo fans don't really like Halo anymore.
Hi, Dad.
That is Ice Glitch's... I mean, that is not Ice Glitch. That is Flame Guy's dad in the background. Awesome.
Yeah, my dad was going to bed, but whatever.
Yeah. Okay, so, got anything else?
Okay. You may hate me for this, but Fortnite on Switch.
Ugh.
Like, I don't even, like, play Fortnite, like, maybe, like, every now and then if I'm feeling a little suicidal.
Ugh.
Which, I mean, like, suicidal, I need to feel better about myself kind of way. Not like,
I feel like they would...
I'm gonna kill myself, but like...
I don't know. I don't think that's a very presentable game for E3. As strange as that sounds. I think they would... Honestly, I think they'd rather do Overwatch.
Well, like... Fortnite is, like, huge right now.
Yeah, I know.
And, like...
Fortnite's huge, but it's piss in the wind. That game's hype now because it's free. The second that another game comes along like it, it's gonna lose its audience. Like, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. That game came out, and it died. Like,
yeah.
It died painfully. I attribute a large portion of that to the Xbox One version being complete and utter shit. But I don't know. I don't think that Fortnite has very much staying power. I don't know if that's like the kind of game, like, they announced it in E3, and you watch that E3 presentation like years later, and you cringe at that game being there.
Like, okay, I'm not saying that it would be, like, a huge reveal or anything, just like, hey guys, Fortnite is coming to Switch. Because, like, I think Epic Games is actually, like, pretty interested in doing it. And it's a big enough game that I feel like Nintendo would want to, like, announce it themselves, like Rocket League.
If we're gonna talk about third-party stuff, something I think will get probably announced, I don't know why they didn't announce it earlier, but I think it's bound to happen, and that is the Spyro trilogy, the remakes.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I don't know why they would have held back on an announcement, but I think it's, like, literally improbable for that game to not be on the Switch. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, maybe they wanted to, like, hold off on announcing it because they were too busy working on Crash for Switch.
Yeah, maybe. Or it could be a case where...
And that's the only...
There was a rumor a while back that... not just Crash, but Crash and Spyro would be announced for Smash Bros. And the reason that they held back the Spyro announcement was for the purpose of, here's Spyro on the Switch, and here's Spyro in Smash. Just have those back to back. And
okay,
I think that would line up with what Emily Rogers said, like, this roster will be unbelievably amazing.
Yeah, like, Crash and Spyro on Smash would be amazing, but I'm not holding my breath about that. I'll believe it when I see it, and even when I see it, I'll still just be like, oh,
yep,
you sure it's real?
Yeah, at most I'd say Crash, just because I feel like he's the bigger icon of the two, obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
I guess I'll say something a bit smaller, but very important to me. I do think that we will get a trailer for the new story expansion for Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Yeah, we're getting pretty close to that.
Yeah, we've had data mines that surfaced that paint the DLC in pretty spectacular light. Like I know the game The Witcher 3, like, that game was heralded as having, like, a ridiculously good DLC expansion, if not one of the best expansions of all time. And if everything in this expansion is correct based on these data mines, I think this might just be the best DLC Nintendo would have ever done.
Like, I've heard that, like, Witcher 3's expansions are enough to be, like, an entire new game.
Yeah, no, like, what I'm hearing here on these data mines, like, you're getting into brand new game territory with the kind of changes that they're implementing. For people who are out of the know, we know that the data mine has some truth to it, because the data mine, when it first surfaced, there was a report of an item that, when used, would increase the trust between a driver and a blade by 3,000 points. In the 1.4.1 update that just dropped the other day, that item is in there. Now, with those data mines that were present, we found out that the story DLC is supposed to be set in the Aegis War, with the main character being Adam, and there'll be playable blades, and they're returning to the combat system of Xenoblade Chronicles 1, where every character has like a detailed arts palette, and it'll be like an entirely new, huge storyline. So I'm thinking that we're in for a trip, because we're not getting a sequel or anything, we're getting a prequel, and like, story speculators on the Xeno Discords, they've managed to dig up the potential inspirations for the Aegis War. In Takahashi's original books, Perfect Works, which was basically a companion piece for Xenogears, there was a pretty damning sort of connection in inspirations and parallels between the information that we know about the Aegis War and the 4th episode of what would have become Xenogears, the franchise, if it had ever gotten off the ground. And there is a hell of a lot of information that doesn't have any parallels, and if they did parallel in Xenoblade, we'd be in new game, like, brand new game territory.
That sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah. Xenoblade, like, 1 and 2, are closest to the first episode 1 and episode 2 of Xenogears. Like, Xenogears itself was meant to be the 5th game in, like, a huge series, right? And, Xenoblade 1 and 2 are apparently going to be used as, like, sort of an outlet to tell that original story they had in mind all that way back then. Yeah. So it sounds really interesting, and I'm super down for it. Yeah. So I'm excited to see whatever comes out of that. Xenoblade 2 was my game of the year for 2017, and if this expansion pack cooks up to be as great as it potentially sounds, watch DLC be my favorite game of the fucking year again. That would shock me. And I say again because Ryu, Lucas, and Roy was my favorite game of 2015.
You can really call that a game, though.
Is it a DLC expansion? Oh god. Well, I don't mention Xenoblade Chronicles X because that game was technically out in the ass end of 2014 in Japan. Because if we count that, then Xenoblade Chronicles X is my game of the year 2015.
Well, did it come out in the US in 2015?
It did. I guess I could move into my final prediction, and I feel like this is a stupid, obvious one that I probably should have started with. We need to see the new Fire Emblem game already.
Okay, I was just about to get into this. How have you not said anything about Fire Emblem yet?
Yeah. Well, you sound like you had a lot to say there, so why don't you start us off on Fire Emblem?
Well, it's not so much that I really had enough... It's not so much that I will... Wow, talking. Well, it's not really so much that I had a lot to say about it, just... we know what's happening, and, I do want it, but, I just kind of want to see what it even looks like.
The only promises that we have about the game are, 1, it's a Switch game, duh, and 2, the director
really? I thought
has...
it was gonna be on 2DS.
Yeah, the director said that the graphics will be, and I quote, unbelievably beautiful.
Okay, if we can get graphics on par with those pre-rendered cutscenes and Fates, I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
Or at least how they look in Fire Emblem Warriors.
Personally, for my hopes for Fire Emblem Switch, I want a story that takes itself seriously again. It's not very controversial to say that Awakening and Fates kind of had, less so Awakening, but definitely Fates had a lot of bullshit in its plot.
Fates' story was kind of a dumpster fire.
Yeah, it was a spectacular dumpster fire. It's something that everybody needs to see at least once.
It was entertaining, but, like, you can't take it seriously. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
If I were in control of the direction of this Fire Emblem game storyline, I would go back to Tellius. Not in terms, like, physically going back to Tellius, the games with Ike, but, go back to the drawing board and how that game's story was told. In terms of, like, the seriousness of war in the Western-released Fire Emblem games, those two are definitely the darkest and most serious Fire Emblem games. They keep your attention on the screen at all times when it comes to story. Shit gets real, and it gets real fast, and you're never laughing at it aside from the shitty voice acting. And that's something they could correct now.
Okay, so, I'm what you would call a Fire Emblem casual, and I've only played the 3DS games plus Sacred Stones, so...
You finished Sacred Stones?
I didn't finish Sacred Stones, but, like, I want to, I just, like, never got around to it.
Have you at least finished Echoes?
Yeah, I finished Echoes.
Okay.
Like, I think I finished it before you did, actually.
Oh, that seems like a reoccurring theme, because Dai finished that game before me. You finished that game before me. Even though I personally think that Echoes is the best of the 3DS games. That's just me, because I feel like its approach to storytelling out of the three is by far the best. Full voice acting. That's a humongous plus. Plus a story that, while jokey and funny at times, it does try to do some dark stuff. And I appreciate that, because with Fire Emblem Fates, I felt like this wasn't Fire Emblem, I felt like this was Childish Emblem.
It was Ember Emblem.
Oh, instead of Fire Emblem, it's Ember Emblem. Oh god. Yeah, so I want a Fire Emblem game that shows us the horrors of war, because that's what Tellius focused on a lot.
War never changes.
In terms of the actual gameplay, though, basically, fuck Phoenix mode, fuck weapon durability, fuck weapons effing with my, my stats, give me some better map design, do not work with Dragon Veins ever again.
Okay, like, for the gameplay, can we get, like, a spiritual successor to Conquest? And, like, how that game worked?
Yeah. That, I did like some of the maps in Conquest, aside from the chapter where you fight Ryoma, because that chapter was a clusterfuck. But,
I don't even remember that one.
You basically either A, had to suicide your units over to the doors so that you could break in to fight Xander, or you had to random number generator your luck with Corrin, an underleveled Corrin, against a goddamn unstoppable Ryoma. And it was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. That was actually goes on my list of, like, top 5 worst Fire Emblem maps of all time. If you want a map that I would like them to see inspiration from, Chapter 10 from Conquest. That chapter is tough as hell, but it's so creative. It's so well thought out. I loved that chapter, even though it's tough as hell.
Yeah, that was definitely one of my favorite chapters of that game, too. Like, it basically makes you think in a completely different way from the rest of the game.
Yeah, I want more stuff like... It doesn't have to be a traditional SRPG.
Yeah.
Like, you can have different objectives. You don't just have to kill everyone every single time. And that was one of the biggest flaws with Echo's gameplay. It was just kill, 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 kill. There was never another objective. As where with Conquest, you had that objective, like with Chapter 10, where you had to stop the guys from getting in. It was tough, but once you figured it out, that was one of the most rewarding chapters in all of Conquest to figure out. Anyways, in terms of, you already mentioned it, in terms of graphics, if we could basically just get Fate/Awakening CGI cutscenes for general gameplay, take my money.
If not, make it look like really similar to Fire Emblem Warriors.
Fire Emblem Warriors? I get crucified for saying this, but I kind of think Fire Emblem Warriors looked a little sloppy at times.
Well, like,
there's
they could
this one
polish
map.
up the old style, but, like...
There's this one
that,
map.
like, general kind of thing.
Yeah. There's this one map in Fire Emblem Warriors where if you look down at the ground, you will see a stock asset from Google.
Seriously?
A stock image asset of rocks from Google. I'm not making this up.
Okay, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's funny, but it shows how bad the time crunch for Fire Emblem Warriors was. Yeah. So that was my final thing on, like, first-party games for E3. In terms of third-party stuff, I don't know what to expect.
Yeah, we could go, like, balls to the wall.
Something I would want.
Like,
I want an announcement.
You know what? Half-Life 3 is exclusive to Switch. Let's go with that. If it doesn't come true, I will literally drink water.
I will drink water! Okay, as for something I really want, Dragon Ball FighterZ. Yeah, just put it on the Switch already, please. This is past due, just fucking do it already. And we've seen, like, the Steam port of that game. Like, the graphics go so low on the Steam version that it looks like you're playing a Nintendo DS game. There's no way this can't feasibly run on the Switch.
I'm not really that into Dragon Ball, but it'd still be cool.
Yeah. We might see some stuff from Bayonetta 3. I'm not sure about that. I think I'll go conservative on that. I think at most maybe a cinematic trailer, because I do not see that game for 2018. People who say 2018 for Bayonetta 3 are out of their minds.
Yeah, no, that game is not coming out this year.
End of discussion on that one. I would really like to see a Xenoblade Chronicles remake of some kind, like the first game. But
yeah, that'd be cool, but not holding my breath for it.
Yep. And
although, speaking of Xenoblade, maybe they'll announce the Xenoblade export.
I feel like ports are something they wouldn't announce that in the presentation. That would be in the treehouse, though, if they're gonna do a port of anything.
Yeah, true.
The same for the Wonderful 101. That is very likely for port 2. And if they do that, like, those two would be in the, they would be in the treehouse, not the presentation. Just because, like, I don't know why, but people basically break down into tears when a port's announced. I'm just like, you know, you're one of the whole 7 people who bought a Wii U. Chill out, dude. Trying to think with my noggin for something third party, and I said Xenoblade, and that wasn't even third party. Editing that sound out.
Maybe Vanquish on Switch.
Vanquish on Switch.
Like,
that's very possible.
There was a rumor of it coming to PS4.
Something I didn't consider that Dive Blood just reminded me because he pulled up my list of stuff I've downloaded. we're gonna get a final major story trailer for Octopath Traveler. That's an easy one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get a big trailer for Octopath Traveler.
Yeah, it's coming out in July. They should probably hype that up.
Yeah. I mean, there is a decent amount of hype for it
Yeah.
online. A lot of people from the Bravely Default fandom is super excited for that game, but I think we're gonna need some mainstream hype for that, and this would be the perfect chance for that game.
Yeah.
They might want to, if Sega doesn't do a conference or any presence of their own, maybe that Sonic Racing game would get announced in the Direct? I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe.
I can't believe I didn't mention Next Level Games. Yeah, what's Next Level up to? They're not the ones doing that Luigi's Mansion remake for the 3DS. So they have to be working for something on the Switch, presumably.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe they want to... Maybe after the shitstorm that was Federation Force, even that coming from me as a person who enjoyed Federation Force, that game undoubtedly damaged every career that was present at that studio. I'm thinking maybe Nintendo doesn't want to work with them anymore, and that saddens me.
Although maybe they'll give them one more chance with another game.
Maybe a Luigi's Mansion 3 to play it safe,
Yeah, maybe.
or another Mario Strikers.
Another Mario Strikers would be cool. Although I
Yeah.
didn't actually play any of them.
Yeah. Although I'm just worried about Next Level, because Federation Force was such a titanic failure that no company, no matter how big, is going to look at that and scoff that off. And that depresses me. Because Next Level is full of really talented developers. Federation Force was just the wrong game at the wrong time. Like, if Federation Force was announced at the same time as Samus Returns,
Yeah, people probably
no one would have given a shit.
people probably would have just ignored it, but it wouldn't have harmed anything.
Yeah, no, actually, on Twitter, Next Level was posting 4 or 5 job you want a job at Next Level? And that tells me a decent amount of people there did get fired for Federation Force. And that actually upsets me. Beyond that, going into closing stuff, I do think that maybe it's time that we saw some Mega Man 11.
Yeah, they could maybe show a little bit of Mega Man 11, because Suruban would come out in October, and we still know next to nothing about it.
Yeah, definitely time that we saw some Mega Man 11, and that excites me. Definitely gonna be excited for that. Although this is Capcom we're talking about. Watch the game be a month away from launch, and suddenly it's canceled. That would be the single biggest shitstorm in PR disaster in Capcom history. No joke.
That would just be depressing. It's oh, hey guys, by the way, the game never was in development. We just made a trailer to hype up our collections. I guess for a closing thing on third parties, I do see, in addition to Octopath Traveler, I think they're gonna remaster the first 2 Bravely Default games. That'd be cool. I didn't actually play those.
Yeah. You really need to play them. I know that you're a fan of JRPGs, and they stand amongst 3DS's very best, and I'm not even joking about it when I say that Bravely Default 1 is probably the single best RPG on 3DS.
At this point, I'm waiting for a remaster, because it's pretty likely.
Yeah. I know you're interested, it's just, I can understand wanting a remaster, and they did tease it, back in December. They did tease, here's a character from Bravely Default playing a Switch.
Yeah.
Right? It's dressed in a holiday outfit. If I can find the image, I will include it in the video at this point. So they did tease it a while ago. I do think that it would be a good idea to remaster the first two. And that would be my closing prediction. You got any closing things?
We'll probably get a release date for Dark Souls Remastered on Switch.
Dark Souls.
Maybe they'll announce Dark Souls 3 on Switch too.
I think they would just do 2 and 3 at that point.
Well, I'm saying 3 because Remastered runs on 3's engine. So it'd probably be easier to do 3.
Unless they're doing Dark Souls 2 Remastered. Which, that could be an E3 announcement.
Well, the thing is, the game kind of already was remastered on PS4 and Xbox One.
Oh, rip.
So,
Rip my idea.
That wouldn't really be a point to that.
Okay. So, Dark Souls Remastered date. Okay, I'm gonna write down all of this shit in a bingo card to see how horrifically wrong we were.
I'm sure
Watch
half
them
this
announce
stuff
Mother
won't come
3
true.
and half... They're gonna announce... Watch this. Because this is the E3 we didn't predict Half-Life 3. It will happen. Because I do not, in any capacity, expect that game to be announced. But because I am not expecting it to be announced, it will be announced. And now because I acknowledge the reverse psychology, it is not going to happen, so fuck my
Okay,
life.
this is how I want Half-Life 3 to be announced. Gabe Newell just walks up on stage, he eats a sandwich for like 2-3 minutes, and then he just slowly brings the mic up to his mouth, and he says, Half-Life 3 confirmed. Mic drop, walks off the stage, the crowd goes wild.
Glorious. Okay, so we've been going for an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, this has gone on long enough.
Yeah.
After
yeah.
you saying we should make these shorter.
Oh, man. Okay, well, with that in mind, I've been your host, the Space King 12, and I was joined by my good
That Flame
friend.
Assassin guy on YouTube.
And
Go
in
watch my
the next
videos,
episode, I don't know
No,
what
I
we're
don't
probably
care.
going to discuss. We were talking over top of one another. Typical for this discussion series. You should probably try and say that again.
He can find me on YouTube as that Flame Assassin guy. Watch my videos, please. Like, comment, and subscribe. Or not,
Yeah,
I don't
you
care.
should. He makes significantly better content than I do. Okay, so, in the next episode of this little series, I imagine we'll probably cover the fallout of E3, in particular the Smash Bros, and maybe some of our general thoughts on other stuff. In the
That's gonna be
meantime,
fun.
you can catch me on my weekly streams, and you can follow me on Twitter at ScottAlivewood. And with that out of the way, it's been fun, and I'll be sure to check you guys out in the next episode. Signing off.
Take care, everyone.